Hi everyone, I'm back and welcome to Daily Go-To Hobbies. This is the second one in my series on dimensions, spirits and everything related. Now, in my last video I was talking about the different dimensions and frequencies. So the way I perceive it is that we are vibrating in our frequency. Let's call it the third dimension, or in the last video I called it amber. You can see a little bit on the other side of the amber is blue. I'm not using an analogy. And oh dear, excuse me. I'll tell you something about spirit in a minute. And what I found is that you can see a bit into the blue, a bit past blue, that goes amber. I know it's not the colour spectrum it is, but I'm just giving you an analogy of it. And I was saying about you can see a bit into the blue, but you won't see the amber. Now, so that's the dimensions as such, and the frequency you're resonating in. So let's say the frequency you're at in your frequency. Let's say it's 100,000 hertz frequency. So it's quite a high frequency. And the next dimension resonates at 200,000 hertz. So there's a huge jump between them. But your resonant frequency will overlap into the 2000, 2 million, whatever it was I said. Sorry, goldfish job. And you overlap that. So partly into that frequency you will see. And then when it comes to, say, the 3000 hertz frequency, you will not even see anything near them because you're too far away from it. So your vibrational state is nowhere near it, and your dimension is too far out of phase of that one. So that's what basically happens there. Now, how do you get there? You can bring yourself up to that state, but it's not only spiritual state, it's a physical state as well. And when I say physical state, is you resonate at that frequency. You're resonating at a certain frequency in the dimension you're in at the moment. So when you resonate at that frequency, you change dimensions and you go into that dimension, even though you was in the physical realm on the third dimension. Say you're going into the fourth dimension, and then you go into the fifth dimension. But it's all to do with resonating at that frequency. So you resonate at that frequency, you become invisible to the third dimension. So you disappear into this dimension. And that's basically what I understand is like a dimensional shift in frequency. And it can also go down, but if most of us that are on the spiritual plane and you're working with spirits and stuff like that, and my medium friends, you know where I'm coming from, and you go up, or you resonate the frequency you like and you feel comfortable with, which at the moment is the frequency you're in. So that has been said. Now, there's a lot to cover, but in a very short space of time. And when I talk about different frequencies, ETs resonate at a certain frequency. So they will be in their dimension and you will not be able to see them until they present themselves into this frequency. They need to come down from their frequency into our frequency. So they need to phase into our frequency. They are far more in technology than we are. They have got the abilities to do that. And in my last video I did mention about ETs and stuff like that. Now, whether it's true or whether it's not, I'm not quite sure, but all I can tell you is what I think is feasible. David Adair mentioned about ET craft and back engineering and stuff like that. Very, very interesting. And if you haven't seen David Adair and his talks, I suggest you do UFO research and find out about David Adair. Absolute amazing bloke, fascinating. And he was interested in rockets. Big kid at heart, but it's amazing where he went on his journey. And I have a lot of respect for David Adair, a lot. And I hope I meet him one day. Right, moving forward. Now, what he talked about, I can understand the concepts and the understanding of the technical side of things and stuff like that. And I can understand that ETs probably don't make their ships. They actually grow them, and they're a living entity in themselves. So when these craft are made, I don't know. I did speculate on how they're actually grown and stuff like that. Comparing our technology to their technology, obviously we have stuff that they will want and we get exchanged between what they have and what we want. But that doesn't come into the public domain because obviously they believe that we can't handle it and stuff like that, because what we've been told is not always going to be the truth and what our purpose is and stuff like that. I know Earth's a very special place, and I know what we do is very special, and it's very interesting. As my daughter just sneezed, have you heard that? So I'm slightly deviating off subject. So that was one of my dogs. I've got a few dogs with me, and I've got 3 on my lap, and on the dog bed. I don't mind. I love dogs, as you will see in my other videos. But right, sorry. Subject regarding ETs and vibrational state. So ETs vibrate in the different states, but also their technology is what they can do. And I mean, how do I put it? The best way to describe it is like everything we see around us is what we've learnt, we've created, and if you compare our technology to ETs, when I say ETs, I'm referring to extraterrestrials, and whether you believe it, that they're there, or you don't believe it, doesn't bother me. I'm talking about that we're within the spiritual realm, the frequencies and stuff like that. If you believe that there's no ETs, that's fine by me. You don't have to listen to me. I have no problems with that. If you do, if you're interested in what I've got to talk about, please stay tuned and you'll be understanding where we're going with it. Now, with spirits and ETs, I don't know if ETs actually have a spirit. I would have thought they would, or they are from our future and they are ahead of us, and they come back to interact with us, to guide us and help us. I have no idea. That is possibly one of the thoughts I've had, because if we continue on the course we're going, history's going to repeat itself, which is already doing between certain countries in the world. This opens up another topic as well, and that is about what happens when people die. We'll talk about that in another video. So very briefly here, we've covered about the person that is you, the person, the energies you attract to yourself, what a vibrational state, what a dimensional state is in, and how do you get between different vibrational states, and so on and so forth. So I hope you find this video interesting and intriguing, because it was made for you. And the other thing is, I will address in another video about mediums and where I come from and stuff like that, and then you understand it a bit further as we go down the line. So hope you found the video interesting. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. But it is quite intriguing to talk about all these subjects. So if you want to see more of me and what I talk about, please subscribe to the channel, and you'll hear lots more of interesting subjects. Not only about what I'm talking about, if you check out my playlist, you'll see all the different things I'm talking about, what I've made, what I'm going to do. There's a whole load of new stuff coming up, and if it interests you, please subscribe, and then you'll hear them all. Or hit the little bell icon and then click all, and then you'll be notified with them. And thank you very much once again. Pleasure talking to you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye now.